Hey everybody, what's up? This is Ryan here, and in this video I want to tell you about the best advice I've ever received, and it's actually the reason why I decided to start this channel in the first place. But before I do, I want to tell you a story. So, when I was just out of college, I decided to take an internship at the United States Senate office. And in those days, what interns at the US Senate would do was they would give tours to constituents of senators. And so what we would do is we would take a tour group through the United States Capitol building, through the Senate offices, and then we would end the tour at a train station which connected the United States Capitol building back to the Senate offices. Well, it was while I was waiting for one of those trolleys after a tour group that I ran into a United States senator one day. And because my goal on this internship was to actually make it to the Senate floor and watch a senator propose a bill, I decided to start small talk with a senator in hopes that maybe I could make that dream come true. So while we were waiting there for the trolley, I said to the senator, I said, "Hey, is there any place I should visit before I leave DC for the summer?" And the senator said, "Oh, you should make sure that you go travel out to Gettysburg. It's one of my favorite places. Are you a history fan? Do you like history?" To which I replied, "Absolutely, I love history. I was a history major in college, and I particularly love Civil War history." And then we proceeded to talk about different aspects of the Battle of Gettysburg itself, things like the Angle or the 1st Minnesota Regiment. And we had such an awesome conversation that this senator invited me to join him on the floor while he presented a bill to Congress, which was one of the highlights of my internship. Now, this opportunity would not have been made possible to me unless I had taken seriously the advice that I had received a few years later, and that advice was this: be able to talk about anything to anyone for 5 minutes. Now, I heard this during my freshman year at college from a guest speaker who had talked about the value of relationships and how being well-versed in a variety of topics had allowed him to make movies for Hollywood producers. So in this video, I want to talk to you about 3 ways I believe you can become well-versed in a variety of topics and talk to anyone about anything for 5 minutes. The first way is to go exploring. Very often when we're growing up, we're raised in a setting where all we know is our environment that's around us. But once you get your driver's license, I recommend you buy a beat-up car, fill up with a full tank of gasoline, and hit the road. And just wander around the country. Go exploring. See what there is to see. Notice all the different animals, all the different landscapes, all the different people, all the different foods. Immerse yourself in other cultures through exploration. I found that this is one of the best ways to expand your worldview so that you have some fun stories to tell people whenever it is that they bring up a topic of conversation. The second advice I would give is to read the newspaper every day. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who reads the newspaper these days? I have Facebook, and I have Twitter, and I have Instagram, and I get all the news I need from my social media outlets, or from the internet. The problem with this, though, is that it creates an echo chamber where you're only hearing the viewpoint that you're familiar with. You never get opposing viewpoints, and you never get opposing stories. What's great about a newspaper is it has lots of different topics in one place, and it has opposing viewpoints. And that's really important for being able to talk to anyone about anything for 5 minutes. You have to be familiar with other points of view. You can't just be able to be well-versed in your point of view. You have to be able to dialogue. My last tip for being able to talk to anyone about anything for 5 minutes is to consume new information every single day. Above just reading the newspaper, challenge yourself to read a book a day. This is a challenge that was posed to me a few years ago and has led to me being able to talk about a variety of different topics more in depth, which has been awesome. Another way to consume information would be just to watch a TED Talk every day. TED Talks are great because they're short and they allow you to get insight from experts around the world about specific topics. If you have Netflix, you could even use that to consume different information every day. There's a lot of great documentaries on Netflix, and as long as you're able to parse out the different biases, they can be a great source of information that you can use to start conversations with a bunch of different types of people. If you're more of an audio person, or if you spend a lot of time in the car every day, I recommend listening to a new podcast every day. I personally love podcasts, and I try to listen to a new podcast every single week as one of my ways to consume new information. And of course, you could always watch Minute Genius every single day too, because that's the purpose of this channel, is to introduce you to new ideas so that you can talk to anyone about anything for 5 minutes. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you guys want to stay up to date on the things that I can't post on YouTube, feel free to follow me on Facebook or on Instagram at Minute Genius. And if you like these videos and want to see more, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.